Okay, here we go. Yesterday, we did complete the square, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And today, what are we doing? Quadratic formula. And both of these were just another way to find what? Beautiful. All right, so here we go. Complete the square. Hey, rudeness. Zip it. So you've got Alonzo and you've got Ada. Okay? So complete the square is the only one that you do not want to equal 0. What do you have to do?
You have to add the
You gotta add the constant. Very good. Everybody okay? What was our second step?
The second term is
Beautiful by 2, right? And you want to write your steps out because this is where you get to cheat in just a minute. And that gives you 16. No matter how hard these problems get, what do you do with that 16 every time? There you go.
Yep.
Who's wrong? Ada? Okay. We can't assume that Alonzo's wrong yet, though, okay? Okay. Can you go ahead and see what he did wrong?
Yeah.
What did he do wrong?
the x plus 4 is equal to plus or minus negative 6.
Yes.
Right
here.
You only found one x.
He found both of them. He just didn't actually give me the answers. He didn't say negative 4 plus 6 was 2, and negative 4 minus 6 was negative 10. Does that make sense, everybody? So technically, they're both wrong. Technically, they're both wrong. So who can we say, let's see, is either of them correct?
No.
Nope. Write that on your handy paper in front of you, not on your phone. Explain your reasoning. Sebastian, what you got?
Neither Alonzo nor Ada are correct because Ada did not add 16 to the other side.
Beautiful.
And Alonzo did not state the answer correctly.
Perfect. Very nice. I love the sentence. Beautiful. We have a math workshop test coming in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So make sure you got something written. Sebastian's sentence was awesome. Okay, number 18, you ready? 18, what's it say to do first?
Solve the equation.
Solve how?
By graphing.
By graphing. Without technology. So in order to graph, when you have an equal sign, Luke Lamar. I love Jesus, but right now, okay. So, when you have an equal sign, what does it have to equal first? 0. So how would I go about doing that? Add the 2x, that would give you 5x. And then what else? Subtract the 2, and that would give you negative 5. So how would I graph that?
Negative 5 is your y-intercept.
Beautiful. Perfect. And we know that it makes, we'll pretend like that hits that line, that point. We know that it makes a straight line because what is the exponent on x? The exponent. There is an exponent. Abby, how much is it? 1. Very good. Okay, then how do we solve it algebraically?
You plug in 0 for, you solve for x.
How do we do that?
You leave.
How many terms are there?
There's one term.
There's 2 terms, 5x and negative 5, right? There you go. Which is? Beautiful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, then I got a 0. I got a product. You set them both equal to 0, but since the 5 doesn't have a variable, do I need to do anything with him? No, because it really doesn't matter. But x minus 1 equals 0 means that x equals positive 1. How could I have solved that graphically? What could I have looked at? That x-intercept right there at 1. Everybody okay? All right, here we go. So go ahead and put that away. We're going to do ACT 26 through 27. I dropped my cookie.
Oh, that makes me sad.
It makes me really sad. No, I would do 5-second rule at my house, but not here.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. All right, 26 and 27, and wait for it. Wait for it. Go. 26 through 27. Go. 26. Got lots of time. 26 and 27. Here we go, 26. We have not talked about radians yet. We will do that in 4th quarter, okay? But I do want to make sure you have at least seen it, especially if you're going to take the December 9th ACT, okay? Because we will get to this, and this problem, Sebastian, will be like super, super easy once we do trig, okay? All right, so here we go. Here's what you do. What's the degree measure that they give you for JKL? 120. Now, in order to change something to radians, we will do this in 4th quarter, okay? It's very easy, but I do want to make sure that you've at least seen it. You always multiply by pi over 180, okay? Always. Uh-huh. So the zeros cancel out when you divide, right? So what number goes into 12 and 18? 6. So that would be 2 pi over 3. We're going to do a whole project and everything on this kind of stuff. You did it right? Swear.
Oh,
I did too.
I got it right.
I like to rock.
You don't know.
Did you get your one?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, what about 27? 27, you know how to do it. It says find area. How do you do area?
Multiply them.
Multiply them. So what's 3 times 5? 15. What's the square root of 5 times the square root of 5?
5.
Square root of 25, which is just 5. Very good. And you don't even need to waste those 2 seconds typing that in your calculator.
75.
Because the only one that doesn't have a radical is A. Everybody okay?
I got that one.
Sweet.
I just plugged it into my calculator.
You could do that too. Yes. All right. Here we go. We are going to go to. That's from another class. All right. We're going to go to. Wrong button. We're going to finish the one from yesterday. So that was page what? 22? 21.
And it's number 7.
I think it was 5. I think it was 5.
I mean, hitting 5.
All right. So on number 5, what was the problem?
3x squared plus 10x minus 8 is equal to 0.
Okay. And did we divide by the 3 and move the 8? Okay.
Wait, no, we didn't.
We did it together, but I did at home.
Okay.
To do 4.
Yeah, you told us to do 4, not 5.
And you do 5 and 5.
We hadn't even started 5?
No.
We're further behind than I thought we were. Okay. All right. Let's see, 4.
I'm not thinking about this. 4, you should have gotten 5/2 and 1. Did y'all get that? 5/2 and 1?
Do we need to go over this? We don't have time to just do it because you weren't here yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That's what I got.
That's why I said we don't have time, but if everybody's confused, then we'll go over it, okay? Okay, what's number 4 say?
2x squared minus 7x plus 5.
Plus 5 is equal 0. Okay. All right, so you can't have a number in the front. Okay, so you got to get rid of the 2. How do you get rid of that 2? Divide by 2, and you can't have this 5 with the x, so how do you move that? You would subtract it. So when you divide by 2, that 7/2 would be, that 7 would become 7/2, right? Okay? And then when you divide by 2, this 5 would be 5/2.
But it's negative.
Subtract it, and it would be negative 5/2. Now, I had an epiphany yesterday. At the end of the day, after I taught this 3 times, that when you do the negative 7/2, divide by 2 and square it. We could have just used our calculator. I wasn't even thinking. So, we could have just said,
Use your fancy screen calculator.
I can since I don't have the screencast anymore. I can. Hold on.
It's green.
Yep. Why is it not? You're going to be like that? I can be like that and just shut you down. That little red wagon. Yes. Okay. All right, here we go. So y'all can see this one better? All right. So, I mean, it doesn't make the calculator any bigger. It just makes the screen bigger. What was it? It was, I don't have my paper. Negative 7/2. Now, do you see how I use parentheses around that? Okay. Then I can divide by 2. If you do not use parentheses, you will not get the right answer. Okay? And then hit enter.
And then math.
And hit math and make it a fraction. And you get negative 7/4. Okay? Don't square it because you need this piece to cheat in just a minute. Okay? Huh?
Oh, we put it on calculator. Yes, we do. No, we were doing it on paper.
If you wanted to do the kids, that's when you did the kids.
Oh.
I was just showing you how you could do it in your calculator.
Because it's just the rules.
Oh, fudge nuggets. Wrong button.
Okay, so babe, I made up mine. Don't do it.
Hey, if you make one more of those noises over there, I'm going to throw something in your direction. Okay, now I have to rewrite the problem again. What was the problem?
X
X
squared
squared minus 7x plus 5 is equal to 0.
And what did we get? Negative. Okay, and you want that because that's where you can cheat, right?
Yeah.
Square it, and what do you get?
49.
Every time, what do you do with that?
You add it to the side.
Okay, we are flying, so pay attention, get off your phones and stay with me because we got a lot of stuff to do.
Can you not simplify that?
Huh? What?
Not yet.
49 over 16?
What? No, because we haven't done anything to it yet.
Just kidding.
It's not square rooted yet. All right, add those together.
9 over 6.
Let's see, what was it? Negative 5/2 plus
49 over 16. 9/16.
negative fraction. 9/16, and that makes my heart happy. Why?
Because
There you go. They're both perfect squares. What was it? 9/16. Okay. And then how could I factor that? Factor.
Now you look at your
Come on, let's go.
X minus 7 over 4.
4 squared, right?
Yeah.
Then how do you get rid of the
Square
square?
root them both.
Square root them, and then look, we can say that 9/16 is, don't you dare tell me 3/4.
Plus or minus.
Plus or minus.
I'm like, oh, I did the math wrong.
There you go. You okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
How'd you get that as a like?
Square root 9 and square root 16. And anytime you square root, it's plus and minus.
Okay, got it.
Okay? Alright, add the 7 fours. Add the 7 fours. What's positive 3 plus 7? 10 over 4. But 10 and 4 reduced by 2. Very good. Alright, what's negative 3 negative 3 plus 4?
Positive 1.
Positive 4 over 4. No, it's not.
Wait,
But
why did we box that?
Because it's negative 3 plus 7.
Oh, duh.
that's a
You type, if you put it in your calculator, you put negative 7 plus over 8. That's how you got negative 4. Alright, let's go to 5. Here we go. 5, 5, 5. Good hustle. Okay, what's the problem? Say, quick, hurry.
3x squared plus 10x minus 8 equals 0.
Beautiful. Alright. So we have to get I'm going to keep going whether you're talking or not because we got too much stuff to do today. Very first thing, you have to get the letters by themselves. So you have to get rid of this guy by doing what? There you go. You have to get rid of this guy by doing what? Adding 8. Okay, so if you divide by 3, you get 10 over 3x. Add the 8 over. Divide by 3. And you get 8 over 3. Y'all okay?
Yeah.
Alright, you take the second term, divide by 2, and square it. You got your calculators? Okay, here we go. Parentheses. 10 divided by 3. Close your parentheses. Then divide it by 2. You get a crazy high decimal. Hit math. Fraction. 5 over 3. Y'all okay? What's wrong?
Oh, I'm good.
You looking at it like craziness. Are you okay?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so we get 5 over 3 squared, which we need this to cheat, which is 25 over 9. Y'all okay? Anybody lost? Alright, here we go. Add that to both sides. Plus what?
Never mind, I was just
Okay. 8 over 3 plus 29 over 9. Excuse me, 25 over 9. Make sure you put them both in parentheses. Crazy hot decimal. How you fix it? There you go. And that makes my heart happy, right? Why? There you go. They're both perfect squares. I forgot what it was now.
49 over 9.
Thank you. Factor it. What do you get?
Plus
5 over
5
3 squared.
That's plus 5 over 3 squared, right? Okay. Square root it. Don't you tell me 7 over 3 plus and minus. Beautiful. Subtract the 5 over 3.
Plus or minus.
Alright, so let's see. Positive 7 minus 5 is 2 over 3. Yeah. And then negative 7 minus 5. Bless you. Beautiful. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. And you got a quiz on Tuesday. So when we do a quiz on Tuesday, how can you check to make sure these are right?
Plug them back in.
Plug them back in. Yes, sir.
Are the numerators, the denominators, are they going to be the same when
No.
you get to that point?
No. But most of the time, yes.
Well,
When I'm being nice to you, they'll be the same. Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. When you subtract the variance, which numbers do you subtract?
Where?
Like the very end.
She's talking about the 5 and the 7.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Oh, the very end. I'm sorry. Okay, you know, right here.
Yes.
Okay, so the 7 is positive and the 7 is negative, right? And you're subtracting the 5 over 3. I'm just being lazy and don't want to write it out. There. Yeah, so they have the same denominator. So you adding and subtracting the numerators. And then dividing by 3. Got it? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see. Is that all of them on that page? Yes. All right, flip over on the back because now we've got to do today's stuff. Quick, quick, quick. We're starting with number 8. Start with number 8. Start with number 8. We are only doing 8 and 9, which means the other problems that are on there are very good study questions for your quiz, right? All right, here we go. Number 8. What's number 8 say? 2x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, go ahead and down first step, go. Just the first step, go.
Divide by 2.
You do it, though. We do it. 8. No, we finished everything yesterday. You didn't have homework. We finished it up.
I already did this.
Okay. All right, so when you do that, what'd you get?
I've got x squared over 3 over 2 x minus 3 over 2.
Equals 3 over 2 because you got to add that 3 over 2 over.
I was going to say, then you add.
Then you, okay, so you did yours in 2 steps. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, that's the same.
All right, second step. You ready? What is it?
The second number divided by 2 is square.
Beautiful. Do that. Do that. You do the second step. Go to town on the second step. Don't hang your nose. Danielle, how you doing? Good so far. Okay. So let's see what we got. We did negative 3 over 2 squared. That's negative 3/4 squared. That's 9 over 16. Y'all okay so far? All right. What do we do with that guy? There you go. 9/16. Perfect. Add those two together. 33 over what? 16. Sounds right. How's it back here?
X minus 3/4.
Perfect. Now,
Is that 33?
that is 33. Yes, ma'am. There's a reason why I wanted to do this one. You see it? Because which one's not hurt? Square 33. But it's okay. My heart is half happy because what do you notice about 16? And that's really the most important one because where is the 16? And you can't have a square root or an I on the bottom, right? Because remember, I was the same thing as square root of negative 1. So that's okay that as long as the 16 is there on the bottom, we're good to go. All right, so we have x minus 3/4 equals, where's what, buddy?
Where's the x squared in the parentheses when you only have x?
Because it's squared twice.
Gosh.
Boil it, what would you get? Same thing you had right here, right? Yes, ma'am, because you square rooted something, right? You square rooted the 16, so it is plus and minus square root of 33 over 4. Now, look at this. Do not write this. What's different about my two answers?
You're trying to square root 4 with that one.
There you go. And it's a very common mistake. And some of you would actually put 2 instead of 4, okay? So what could I do from here? No more stuff. Yes, you do.
Add the 3/4.
If the x is by themselves, so you add the 3/4. Yes, ma'am. All right. Can you add the 3 with the plus and minus square root of 33?
Yes.
It would be 3 on the square root of 33 divided by
It would be
4.
3 plus and minus the square root of 33 divided by 4. Very good, Sebastian. Sebastian, you can't change it from adding and subtracting and multiplying. It's the only thing, okay? Did I lose anybody about how I wrote that? Okay, I added 3/4. You cannot add the numerators. They are not like.
So you would get negative 3 plus or minus. No, never mind.
3 is positive because you add it. We just made it one big fraction since they had the same denominator.
Okay.
We just smooshed it all together.
And you'd only get 1x, right?
No, you still have 2 because you have plus and minus. Okay, how would you check this answer?
Wait, is that the only?
There's 2. There's plus and minus. It's 3 plus square root of 33 over 4 and 3 minus square root of 33 over 4.
Do we have to write it twice, or can we just-
No, please just write it once like that. Alright, so how could we check that? You would. 3 plus square root of, what was it, 33? And then hit enter. And then you can divide it by 4. When did we get crazy hot decimals for our x-intercepts when we were doing this on our last test? You went to second calculate, right? And then you went to hit the 0, and then your calculator gave you the x-intercepts like that. Are you all okay? And you could just check your decimals like that. It's the same thing. You can still check it. All right, where are we at? That's 8, and then we can do 9. Okay. All right. First step on number 9. What would you do? There you go. Go ahead and do the first step on number 9. Go. Alright, you get equals negative 25? Alright, what's the second step?
Then you
Second
divide
number.
term B by 2, then
Alright,
square root of
go
it.
to town. Second step. Go. Second step, go. At least you get to use your calculator. You get 9? Okay, what do you do with that guy?
Add both together.
Perfect. Negative 25.
Yeah, that's not good.
What's that give you?
So that's a positive 4 or 16.
Negative 16, because the biggest number is negative. All right, how would it factor?
X minus 3.
X minus 3 squared. Very good. Square root it. Ooh, almost. 4i. Very good. Why does it have an I with it?
It's negative.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. But I'm not done yet. Because I don't have X by itself. Add the 3. Can I add the 3 and the 4 and subtract the 3 and the 4? No, why? Because it's got the I. Very good. Yep. If you don't write it in that order, it would be plus and minus 4i plus 3.
Is that wrong?
No.
Okay, I was just.
You just cannot make the 3 plus and minus. The 4 is the plus and
I
minus.
guess I always put my letters first when I'm writing anyway, so I
The complex numbers are backwards. The complex number wants the I in the back. Yep. All right, here we go. We are going to go to quadratic formula, which is on the next page. And I'm about to show you how to do quadratic formula in the Algebra II. Easy, fast. Here we go with. Does that make sense? All right, what's number 1 say on the quadratic formula? Go.
X squared plus X, 6x.
Wait, x squared.
Equal to 16.
Okay, so the only time that we do not want it equal to 0 is with complete the square. We're not doing complete the square, right? So we do want it equal to 0, right? So what do? Subtract the 16 unless you can tell me that that's negative 16 in your head, which if you can do that, then leave it alone, okay? If you can say it's negative 16 in your head, you don't even have to worry about it. All right, then, at the top of your page, I reminded you about the quadratic formula. You see it at the top of your page? Okay, so it's x equals negative b. Guys, what does that negative in the front of b do? He changes the sign. So your b is your second term, which is 6, and that negative changes the sign, so it's negative 6. And then the plus and minus is already written in the formula for you, so you don't have to worry about forgetting it. And then write your square root and then stop. Everybody okay with that so far? Now, notice that I have not written anything in the square root because we're about to do this Algebra 2 style and not Algebra 1 style.
What?
Ready? Got your calculator? All right, here we go. Inside the square root, in your formula, it was b squared, correct? Yes. So you type parentheses, and what is your b? 6, close parentheses, squared. Do not hit enter, we're not done. Okay? Then what's after b squared in your formula? Minus 4, minus 4 times a. What's a in our case?
1.
It's the number in front of x squared, which is 1. And what's c in our case? Or your constant, right? Now do you understand why I say you didn't have to move the 16 if you understood it was negative? Okay? Hit enter. Notice that I did not put the square root in my calculator, because if it does not come out to be a perfect square, you did all that work for nothing and you have to go back and do it again. So don't put the square root in the calculator and save yourself a step, because you should know that the square root of 100 is how much? 10. All right, here we go. So first things first, 100 goes inside the square root. On the bottom of your fraction, look back at your formula. What is it?
2a.
2a, which in our case is 2 times 1, which is just 2. Ready?
Yes.
You know that the square root of 100 is 10.
Yeah.
So you have negative 6 plus 10. That's 4. One at a time. We've got 2 answers, right?
Yeah.
Negative 6 plus 10 is 4. Divided by 2 is... Welcome to Algebra 2. Okay? All right. X equals negative 6 minus 10.
Negative 16.
Divided by 2.
Negative 8.
And you're on your quiz on Tuesday. What happens at those two places on your graph? X-axis, x-intercept. If you went to your table, what's happening there?
Zeros.
Zeros with Y's. Very good. All right, let's go to number 2. Bella, what's your question, baby?
My sister plugged it into my calculator, so all I have to do is plug the A, B, and C in. Would you turn off the
Yes. On a test, yes. Because she has programmed your calculator to do it for you, which is fine, but you still have to show me your work on a test. Okay? And that's beautiful for the ACT as well. And I know exactly who she got that from, because I taught him last year and the year before that. So,
I thought she tried to plug it.
he might have, but he actually wrote the program and passed it around school. And then I felt kind of bad for his math teacher because I kind of told him he could do that. So. I was like,
Wait, who was it?
hit it for you. All right, what's number 2?
What's
She's not really bad.
the push x plus 9? I would say do that.
Equals 0?
Yeah.
Okay. She went ahead and did the math? What? Oh, was it equals negative 9? Okay, beautiful. I love that. I love it, love it, love it. All right, here we go. X equals negative b. All the negative does is change the sign. So it's not negative 6, it's positive 6. Then write your square root, because you don't know if it's a perfect square or not. Hint, hint, it's coming where it's not a perfect square. All right, so here we go. What was our b? Negative 6. Okay, negative 6 with parentheses. If you do not use parentheses, it will give you the wrong answer with a negative. Minus 4 times a is 1 times c was 9 or negative 9? 9? Okay. What'd you get? 0. Beautiful. You have 0. Beautiful. All right, on the bottom is 2 times a, right, which is 2 times 1. And Abby, what's the square root of 0? 0. So, guys, what's 6 plus 0?
0.
6. Oh, you multiplied. What's 6 minus 0?
Negative 6.
Oh my
6 minus 0?
Just because
I have 6.
It's 6.
I thought you were taking 6 away from 0. I'm like, that's
No, baby, you're taking 0 away from 6. Either way you cut it, you get 6.
That means it touches
Divided
the
by
x-axis
2.
one time.
Beautiful. That was my next question. All right, Luke, tell us about this.
It means it only touches the x-axis one time, so it's one solution.
Perfect. It's one real solution. Very good. Very good. All right, here we go. Number 2. In 3. That was number 3.
That was number 2.
Oh, now we're going to number 3. Okay, here we go. Number 3. What does it say? Plus 2, you said? Okay.
None of this
No.
is right.
Yes, because 4 is our A. It's already, everything's already built into your formula with you, okay? All right, here we go. So x equals, by the way, I realized after I had already done this worksheet that all the B's are 6, and no, that will not always be the case. I don't know why, but all the good problems turned out to be 6. So we have a positive 6, plus and minus, square root, and go to your handy-dandy calculator. All right, so we got 6 squared minus 4. What was the A? 4 and the C? 2. Okay, what do we get? 4. Beautiful. What? What'd you get confused on?
Why are you not using negative 6? Is it negative 6? Yeah.
Oh, it is negative 6. Well, when I square it, it's still positive. It doesn't matter. Absolutely. Did you use parentheses around it?
I did.
So you did parentheses negative 6 squared minus 4. Oh, I did square. On this thing, it's just easier to hit clear. A was 4, right? B or C was 2. I still got 4. Because when you square it, it's still positive.
I think I'm adding instead of.
Oh, that could be a big deal. All right, here we go. So we got 4 over 2 times 4 is 8. Perfect. All right, so we have positive 6 plus 2. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Perfect. Perfect. Very nice job. I mean, I don't care, but that's all the work I need for Algebra 2.
So like you basically just need like the 6 plus or minus square root or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Last year
Well, last year you were in Geometry and Algebra 1, and now we're about to take this, and you're going to see why I want you to do it in less steps, because we're about to take it and build on the next one. So here we go on 4. You ready?
Yes.
All right, we got to hustle.
2x squared plus 6x minus 7.
Equals 0?
Yes.
Okay. So we got x equals negative 6 plus and minus the square root, right? Are y'all okay?
Uh-huh.
All right, you got your calculators? All right, what's the B? 6 squared? I just told y'all that it was always 6. And all right, minus 4. What's A? 2?
Yes.
And C?
Negative 7.
Negative 7. 92. Welcome to Algebra 2. You ready? Okay. So that is not a perfect square. This is why I told you not to type in the square root in your calculator, because you would have gotten a decimal and you would have had to do your work twice. Okay? Because then you would have had to plug it back in. And on the bottom you have 4. Now, this is why in Math Workshop for 2 months we have factored and we have done radicals. How do you break up the 92?
You gotta find the biggest perfect square because it's
Beautiful. What's the biggest perfect square that goes into 92? That divides into it. Not that's under it. That divides into it. 4. Very good. How do you know that 4 is the biggest one? What do you get when you divide it? 23. Is there a perfect square that goes into 23?
you break that down again, don't you?
23? No, you can't. There's not a perfect square that goes into it. That's how you know that 4 is the biggest one, because there's not one that goes into 23. What's the square root of 4? 2. But I'm not done.
Oh no, like this. Oh my goodness. It's not hard, it's just what steps.
Notice anything? You can only simplify it because all three numbers that do not have a radical have the same number in common. If only two of them had something in common, you could not do it. All three of them have to have it in common. So they have 2 in common, so that's -3. I don't have to write the 1 in front of the square root over 2. That's it. Everybody okay? Anybody lost? All right, we got 2 more to do, right? We got 5 of them or 6 of them? Okay, we only got 1 more. Sweet, we got to hustle so we don't have homework. Here we go. Last one, number 5, go.
X squared minus 6x
Plus what? 10. What's wrong? Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I already see that, Sally? What was it? Negative
3 plus square root is 23.
I will check. You okay with how we got it? Oh. What? Pretend like that's a 3. That's a 3. All right. So, very first step, what do we do? Go.
You do the quadratic setup.
How?
It'd be -b, so it'd be 6. Again, plus or minus the square root of -6 squared minus 4.
I'm not writing all that down. I'm in Algebra 2.
-4.
It is big.
What was the C? 10? No. So you got -4, right?
That'd be I.
It'd be plus and minus 2i, not 4. Because what's the square root of 4?
When she did the
2. What's the action?
He's asking where'd you get the -4 from?
Negative b minus 4ac inside the formula.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, we're not done yet. What?
The imaginary number
Yes.
is
Yes. Feel okay with that? Sure. All right. What do you notice about all 3 of the numbers that don't have square roots? 2. Now, why is it necessary to put the I? When you graph this, yes, you squared a negative number. How can you check this in your calculator on your quiz on Tuesday? It does not touch the x-axis. That's why it's necessary to put that I, because this means that it does not hit the x-axis. You all okay? All right, here's what we need to do. I need you to find your study guide from matrices and look on the back of it. I know it's been a minute since we've looked at them. Perfect cubes. All right, now, next week is going to be a jam-packed week because we don't have school on Friday. And Thursday's basically a wash, right? Thursday is the Veterans Day program from 1st and 2nd period, and a pep rally 7th period, and it may be something else coming down the line if it has been approved. So it's Thursday's basically a wash. I can't take it until it's approved. What? Yes. So, everybody good? All right. So perfect cubes. What's the first perfect cube? Go. What? Keep going. 8. Keep going. 27. Yep. 64. Yep. 125. Keep going. 216. What's next? 343. Yep. 512. 779. And 1,000. So you're on your test, your perfect cubes test on Tuesday, and you're like, I don't remember what 4 cubed was. You don't get to use your calculator, so how could you do it?
4 times
4 times 4 times 4. You know 4 times 4 is what? 16. And so then you would write 16. Oh, hold on. Oh, I can't write on this. I forgot. You write 16 times 4. You're all okay? And then you do it in that way. Good?
Wait, the old grandpa way?
I haven't done that.
So our test is
So you better make sure you memorize them.
It's like,
We have a test on this. So what do you got? What do you got Tuesday? 2 things. No, we got a perfect cube test, and we have a quiz on what? Quadratic formula and complete the square. Tuesday. Good. Got it? All right. Clear everything off your desk. Back in your book bag.
Bella.
I know that, and we are finished with like a minute's prayer.
Wait,
That's not like the word.
It's been a
That clock's off though, isn't it?